You tell him.
Michael Clarke's wife, Kylie, is one of his fiercest defenders. The pair went to Westfield Sports High together, although back then, the young dancer barely noticed the promising batsman. There was a chance meeting at a local nightclub pre-Lara Bingle, but Clarke lacked his trademark courage.
I asked my best mate, to go and ask for a number. And Kylie didn't approve of that. She said, if Michael wants my number, he can come and ask.
Well played.
So after she told me she didn't know who I was, had no idea we went to school together, and wouldn't give my best mate her number, I was more than happy to go to the 7-Eleven, get myself a meat pie and take off home.
Years later, their romance blossomed over Twitter.
I believe you made the first move.
Well...
Yes, Ali, that is correct.
But before they made it to the altar, Kylie found she had a lot to learn about the other love in his life.
I knew something about a Boxing Day test and the name of Ricky being a captain, but I had no idea. I went on Wikipedia and I understood that, you know, there was 11 people on each side and my lucky number is 1111. I'm like, this is a match made in heaven. I'm like, he's hot, I like him, we get along really well. 1111 with cricket, this is going to plan.
Oh my God.
With Kylie on the scene, the scandals of his personal life were now behind him. But his forthright nature saw him often clash with teammates. He even came to blows with popular batsman Simon Cattage in a dressing room dust-up about when they should sing the traditional team song. He's never spoken of it until now.
Did you throw a tantrum?
I think a lot of us were getting wound up, so I think I had every reason to be pissed off. But I don't think my language was appropriate to Cato.
Did Simon grab you by the shirt?
Yes.
Do you think that Cattage's anger at you leaving the dressing room was reflected by more than one member of the team?
Oh, definitely. It turned out, I found out 4 days later that Matthew Hayden was going to retire after that test match. So I think Haydos was pissed off as well that happened in his last test.
Then there was the spat in 2013 with his then vice-captain Shane Watson. It also made front-page news.
You called Shane Watson a cancer on the team.
No, I didn't say that. I said that there is a number of players, or a group in this team at the moment, that are like a tumour. And if we don't fix it, it's going to turn into a cancer.
Was Shane Watson one of those players you were talking about?
Shane was one of those players, yes.
Do you think your players liked you when you were captain?
I don't think I can answer that.
You've got to have some idea.
I know they respected me as their captain. I know they believed in the calls I made, and they knew that I would put that team in front of any personal relationship.
Do you think respect is more important than
Definitely.
liking?
I would love both, but I care about one.
But the professional became unimaginably personal with the death of fellow cricketer and close friend Philip Hughes in 2014. An inquest is currently underway after the 25-year-old was struck in the head with a cricket ball and collapsed.
You know, I guess I probably tried to tell myself that that there's a chance it could be okay. But I think I knew there wasn't.
Whether or not he heard, did you get a chance to say goodbye to him?
That's the thing that I hate the most, to be honest, Ali, because I spent that whole night talking to him, and that breaks my heart the most.
The game Michael Clarke loved killed his great mate. But rather than give in to his own grief,
we must dig in and get through to tea.
he stood tall and showed what it means to be a leader.
And we must play on. So rest in peace, my little brother. I'll see you out in the middle.
And I guess he lost that best friend that he went on tour with, and I think that I personally saw a change in him after that happened. Once Michael went back on tour, I don't feel like he was ever the same.
It was always hard to play cricket after that.
Did it change how you feel about the game?
Oh, definitely, yeah. I think I felt fear for the first time in my life when I played cricket.
When Clarke led the Australian Test team onto the field in Adelaide, just 5 days after Philip Hughes's funeral, unbeknownst to most, he was suffering agonising back pain. He couldn't even tie his own shoelaces. And his relationship with Cricket Australia had soured.
2 weeks earlier, they wouldn't pick me in the Test match when I was fitter than what I was come Adelaide Test. And, you know, a week and a half on, I lose my best mate and they begged me to play in that Test match. So I was burning inside because of that.
You led a heartbroken team onto the field in Adelaide at a time when physically you probably shouldn't have been playing.
Yeah, it was, that game was different, Ali. That feeling in my head was so different.
The last century that you scored for your country was for your mate Phil Hughes.
28th Test century, none more emotional.
And win. He liked winning as well.
I was going to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was this one here in the corner?
Today, Michael's established his own cricket academy, grooming the next generation of superstars.
Played the first game for Australia here at the SCG.
Any time I made 100 for Australia was very...
He's also back on the field in grade cricket, playing for his beloved Wests.
Honestly, that's the only reason I'm here, to help these guys and to play the game that I've always loved.
Well, you were the young thing, now you're the elder statesman, you're the old bloke.
I still feel young though. These boys will keep me young, that's for sure.
Throughout his incredible career, Michael Clarke has remained defiant and unapologetic. No Australian captain has been as polarising as Clarke. He says, criticise all you like, but he's happy he did it his way.
And I want that young boy or that young girl that's living in Bankstown, Vaucluse, Penrith, Fiji, I couldn't care less, to know that, you know what, forget what other people say. If you want it, you chase it and you earn it and then you deserve it.
And you've deserved everything you've got.
The good and the bad.
That came across really good.
You forgot dickhead.